You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Come on, man. GOP governor busted for pressuring cop to let him go after traffic stop, based on an article by Tom Bogany. Nevada's governor got the courtesy dispensed to everyone else's power. Power knows when to speak first. Joe Lombardo did not get pulled over as an ordinary driver. He got pulled over as Nevada's governor, a man who understood exactly how to turn a traffic stop into a status display. The body camera footage shows him identifying himself before the officer finished explaining the stop, then cutting the exchange short with a familiar little power move. Not an argument, just the assumption that his name should do the work. That is the point. The governing class rarely needs to issue explicit orders to receive special treatment. It only has to make its identity known and let institutions do the rest. The source material is clearer than the spin. The reporting is straightforward. A Metropolitan Police sergeant stopped Lombardo's truck near Mandalay Bay for a suspected red light violation, then let him go without a citation. Lombardo's campaign tried to bleach the scene after the fact, insisting he did not seek preferential treatment. But the video undercuts that claim. The governor announces himself. The officer acknowledges who he is. The stop ends without enforcement. The campaign statement is not a clarification. It is damage control. It asks the public to ignore what the tape shows because the office holder would prefer a cleaner story. The real decision was made by the officer. The immediate institutional power in this moment sat with the sergeant. He had discretion. He chose not to write the ticket. That is the actual decision that matters, because discretion is where hierarchy becomes practice. Rules for ordinary people become optional when the right name enters the frame. Steve Graham is, speaking for the union, helped seal that logic into the familiar language of routine policing. Nothing to see here. Thousands of stops. No ticket needed. That defense is revealing. It does not deny the unequal treatment. It just normalizes it. The argument is not that Lombardo deserved the break. It is that breaks like this are built into the culture. What the cover story protects. The governor's campaign wants the public to see manners. The police union wants the public to see harmless discretion. Together they are laundering a class privilege into a non-event. That is how institutional self-protection works. The elected official pretends he was merely polite. The police refuse to call their own favoritism what it is. Each side gets something. The governor gets plausible deniability, and the department gets to preserve the myth that enforcement is evenly applied. The only thing missing is the public's consent, which is usually the last thing institutions bother to seek. This is the pattern. This story is not about one red light violation. It is about a political order where authority recognizes itself and relaxes. The person with office gets the benefit of the doubt. The officer with discretion treats power as a reason to stand down. Then the public is told the whole thing was mundane. That is the broader pattern, not just corruption, but normalization of unequal treatment. Not just favoritism, but the reflex to shield power from consequences and then insult everyone else's intelligence about it. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Raw Story for today's article, with the automated voice of Joe. Thanks for listening.